Hello and welcome to tonight's installment of Alice Baker Music from a Darkened Room, based on a 2005 adventure by Dennis Detwiller, originally written for Delta Green, but we're playing it in the 1930s in New York City. We're not gonna do a recap. We're just gonna jump straight into the thick of things. So essentially, you are preparing for a kind of exorcism slash seance kind of thing with Sinead, who is the seventh daughter of a seventh daughter, who has agreed to trying to summon the ghost, the spirit, the essence of Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
And you have decided to try and do so in the in the kind of like in the warehouse that belongs to Liz, who is an antiques dealer whose grandfather had bought items from the old 2016 Spooner house after the death of Isabella. Sorry, not Isabella. Words fail me.
The Wheeler family.
Yeah, from the Wheeler family, yeah.
Yeah, it was Isabel.
Oh, it was Isabel. Yeah, sorry. I just, for some reason, I mixed her up with Adele. Adele, her crone, who is missing, interestingly enough. Nobody knows what happened to her. So anyways, and you have decided to do that the next day. You have made contact with Sergeant Updike, but that was kind of strange. He was behaving a little bit oddly, so you have decided not to inform him of what you are going to do.
No, since we were warned that he might be possessed, we should look out for weird behavior, so let's just hope that whatever we do, we help him as well.
Yeah, so what you are doing, or what you have decided to do, is you're going to go in after 5 o'clock. That's when the shop is closed. Liz has decided not to be anywhere near where you guys are, so she will just hand you the keys and be gone. And you are going to meet Sinead there. So are you going to do anything to prepare? Is there anything you would like to do?
I could imagine Dottie probably making another sandwich or anything, we need to have some strength and we need to eat something. Alice was probably fill up her flask again, just in case that there has some alcohol on side, if needed. She'll probably go through the diary translation just once more, and she will also take out the diary although the diary is not for Isabel. No, she will keep the diary in the safe, but she will go through the notes just to see if she can see anything new that she overseen. Probably not, just to keep her busy. And then we will just wait for when it's time to drive over to Liz antique store.
Okay, so basically Dottie has made a sandwich, and now she's decided that the curtains really need washing, so she's now climbing all over the place, taking down curtains on the first floor, because obviously she needs to be kept busy, so she keeps herself busy. But then 4 o'clock rolls around, you have ordered a cab, it's waiting outside, you go into the cab, you drive to Liz's store. She's already waiting for you, and interestingly enough, Sinead is there already as well. And Sinead has brought quite a big box.
Okay.
And she says, well, there are a couple of things that we would need.
Very, very true. But first of all, thank you, Liz, so much. As I said, I will give you a call tomorrow when we have everything spot on as always, and then we can meet here, and I'll give you just a key back. And just have a relaxed, nice evening and a nice day off tomorrow. And I'll keep in touch.
Okay. So, you have decided to use the piano.
Exactly, because Sinead had the idea that if you play music, you put a bit of yourself in there, so it should be probably most connected to Isabel in the hope that she was the one playing the piano. And so we will probably go to the room where the piano is set up and move it. She would ask Sinead, should we move it in the middle of the room, kind of like, or
She walks into the room and she looks around. She's like, this is good. This is good. What we need is a table and chairs. We need 3 chairs and a table. And of course there are chairs and there is a table because there are several tables because this is an antique store and you can easily find even non-antiques, like, you know, there is a coffee
we
table.
would make sure to look for stuff that doesn't look expensive and very valuable. We just need to sit on there. Just in case something gets broken, it shouldn't get too expensive.
There are chairs that
Also-
would be used by customers, you know, when they basically do viewings of smaller items. So
Something, or from the office where there might be 1 or 2 chairs as well. We would carry out, if there's stuff still in that room that has nothing to do with whatever we are doing, the idea is probably to get it out of the room just to be safe and sound.
yeah.
And we would, well, the door would be still open, but the sign would be on closed, because I had in mind that probably we will get a few more people to join us.
Okay.
That they can go through the front door, basically.
Okay, so basically you put everything in order the way Sinead wants it, and then Sinead sits down and she takes out paraphernalia. She takes out a what looks like an oversized placemat, which she unrolls, and she rolls it out, and on it is, if you will, kind of like a Ouija board, but only it's like on a tablecloth.
Okay.
And then she has one of those things that, you know, those pointers that she puts there, and she says, we may or may not be able to use this. This really depends, but, you know, I just brought it in case. Then she takes out a couple of really, really nice candle holders and puts in candles, and she's like, I know that this looks like total cliche, but it does work. We do need to dim the lights. So she basically lights all of the candles and then she hits the lights. And basically, she says, so what we're going to do is we are going to try and summon Isabel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will try and dismiss her.
Mm-hmm.
This can be quite contentious because Isabel doesn't want to leave. So this can get quite ugly. It's easiest if we all hold hands and we do not break the circle. That is really important.
Okay.
Isabel will probably try and possess one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I will try and prevent this from happening, but I may not succeed.
Okay.
If she does possess one of us, I will notice. It's highly unlikely that it's going to be me.
Okay.
Because I'm susceptible, but not in that way anymore. If somebody gets possessed, I will let you know straight away that hurting them is not going to hurt Isabel. So slapping them or even killing them will not destroy Isabel. So don't even think about it.
What about knocking them out? Would Isabel be trapped in there, or would you
No,
just
Isabel would
poof
not
away
be trapped in there. She would just leave.
and go for the next one? Okay.
Possibly, yes. Or just, you know.
Best case, leave. Okay, so worst case scenario, knocking out might be an option to save someone.
Yes. It would make sense not to have any weapons on you. Just in case she takes possession of someone and then just tries to use those weapons. And I understand that this may have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it would make sense not to have any weapons.
Alice will put her hand back outside of the room, probably in Liz's office or in front of the office. I'm not sure if Liz would have left her office open because probably her valuables are in there. It's probably locked.
Yeah.
But she would put it around there, and then she would look at her cane and would be like, okay, and would put the cane just next to it. So she will be not very quick, but she will make her way without the cane as best as possible, because the cane is a weapon, so...
Okay, so you reach out, she reaches out to you, grab hands, and now we're talking a little bit about the technicality of what's going to happen. So this is going to be done by expending magic points.
Okay.
So it's a normal exorcism. You will remember this because you've done it once before as a player. So essentially, you can provide the medium with your own magic points.
Okay.
They regenerate 1 per hour, but the more you give, the better, or the more likely it is that there will be enough in the pool to make this a success. But I leave it up to you to make that decision. I'm just going to decide for Dottie.
Okay, just for me, it's just a 3, because Sinead was talking about her sisters and things like that, or was that just for prepping?
The sisters will come into play.
Okay.
Yeah. She actually puts holy water on the table.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay, so... How many magic points are you going to expend?
The question is it just one go, or is it multiple rounds?
Well, hopefully we will call her.
But it might be that we have to do something then. So it's probably not the best to just hit out all of them and be completely drained.
So what is your offer?
6 points.
Okay. Okay. So you grab hands, she closes her eyes, and she says, "From beyond the veil, from beyond and behind the mirror, I call forth Isabel Whelan. I call forth Isabel Whelan. I call forth Isabel Whelan." And let's see if this is successful. Okay, now I have to do some math.
Take your time. It's just helping with the, oh my god, what is happening? The piano explodes.
You literally feel the table shake.
Okay.
The table's shaking, and the lights go out completely. The candles blow out.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a voice of a woman, an elderly woman, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And she says the following words: "Chiamo l'uomo nero. Vieni, vieni, vieni. Vieni alla luce. Vieni, 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 vieni dall'oscurità." And the table keeps shaking, and it's shaking more and more violently. And then you hear a voice that is kind of gravelly, and it sounds a lot more like a man. And at first you don't really understand what he's saying, but then it becomes quite clear that he says, "Who calls me here?" And the lady suddenly doesn't speak Italian anymore, but she says, "It is I, your faithful servant. I've summoned you here to release me from my pact in exchange for the pact with another." And he says, "Release you from your pact in exchange for a pact with another. So where is that other?" And you hear the voice, "She's over there." And he turns around, apparently, because he says, "Very good." And you hear steps, and he says, "So who are you that you want to exchange your life for that of my true and faithful servant?" And then you hear a very nervous voice saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. What is going on here? I'm not taking any pacts. Who are you? What the, Adele, what is going on here? What is that thing? What is that thing?" And Adele says, "You just need to sign on the dotted line. It's going to be all right. You're going to live forever. You're not gonna get old. You're not gonna get sick. You're going to live forever." And then you hear the man say, "Is that what you told her?" And then you hear steps running, and you hear a scuffle, and then the scene ends, and you can now make a stability roll.
Okay. And the whole time, I guess, or the moment it started, Alice's reaction would be to hold on tighter to Dottie's and Sinead's hand. Mm-hmm. Because what we learned, don't break the circle. And you say sanity, right? Mm-hmm. Without any problems.
Okay, then you lose 3 sanity.
Okay.
Okay.
2, 3.
Let's see how Sinead is doing.
Come on, girl. I hope Dottie is doing fine as well.
She's fine. Sorry, what kind of a success was that? So you rolled what again?
A 23. So
over what's your current?
It was 1, 2, 3, 46.
So it was 50% exactly.
Like 50%.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so you lose 3. So we're getting 8. Okay, cool. Well, this is maths. Okay, and Sinead opens her eyes and says, "That was not Isabel."
That was like a flashback on how this started. It sounded like what we learned from Adele, and that thing that I'm not sure if we should name it.
We'll have to try again. Okay, so how many magic points are you going to give?
I don't have much left. I will give 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Very nice. Okay. This time round, The she has relit the candles in the room. This around the candles stay on, and you suddenly feel Dottie jerk backwards and almost breaking the circle. What do you do?
I'm holding on to her, looking between her and Sinead.
Make a strength roll.
That is a 15, so a hard success.
Okay, you manage to hold on to her, and so does Sinead. And Dottie turns towards you and she says, "Oh, Alice, it's you again. It's been a long time, several days." And she looks around, she goes, "This is not my house. Where am I?"
Alice will just look at Sinead if she's allowed to talk, because she did not clarify.
Sinead nods.
Well, Isabel, you're with your piano. We thought you would like to see it again.
My piano?
It's still there. It was kept safe for all the years.
Oh, what a drag. This is so tedious, summoning me to my piano. And this body doesn't even have any weapons on her. I like the CoC better. And you suddenly hear that the piano is beginning to play.
Obviously.
Sanity check.
Extra creepy. That's a 14, so I'm fine.
Okay.
Well, the idea is not that this time you can just easily shoot me.
Oh, but that was so much fun.
Well, for you, not for me, and not for the people in hospital, to be sure. I was a very annoying guest.
I didn't shoot you well enough, you're still alive.
Well, you did your job well. Don't be disappointed in that. The only thing that we would be really, really interested in is to... what can we do to set you free? And all the others.
You want to set me free.
We know you made a pact you didn't want to do. It was all on Adele.
Oh, yes, but that's all in the past. Look at what I have become. I can be anywhere. I can be anyone.
You're an evil ghost killing everyone that's getting near you. Is that really what your husband would have wanted for you?
My husband. You're bringing in my husband.
He loved you so much. He built that house.
The man who was so stupid as to fall from a third-floor scaffolding.
Accidents happen.
Well, I was homesick. That was not an accident. He should have stayed with me, but no. He had to go and finish that stupid house. Now he's dead. Well, at least I inherited everything. Well, technically it's no longer mine, but... I mean, just think of the things I can do. I could stay in that house forever. And I could see the world change through the eyes of the people who live inside. And
well, we will...
feel like it, I can just make them join me. I mean, I've got so many friends now. Many more than I used to have when I was still alive.
They are not your friends. They are prisoners. They are not there on free will. You are keeping them there against their will. They are suffering because of you, just like you suffered stuck in that bed. You really are happy about doing that to others, what you had to suffer through?
Oh, well, mortals, you know. I will tell you one day, and that day may not be that far away, you will be begging to live forever.
Living forever is definitely a curse in this world. I don't want to live forever. I want to enjoy my life and finish it in a big bang, as always I do.
That's the innocence of youth talking.
The thing is, we will shut down. No one will enter the house again. You will be alone again. Well, except with your prisoners that still want to escape and are trying to get out of there.
You don't know the first thing about my friends.
They are not your friends.
Really? Are they not?
You killed all of them.
Well,
a murderer is
technically-
not a friend.
Technically, some of them killed themselves, and then there were accidents.
You killed Arthur blankly.
Well, Arthur was... Well, he had to go. He was touching my stuff.
The others killed themselves or were killed because of you. You murdered them. You don't need to use your hand to kill people.
Is it murder when I just tell somebody that it's so much nicer on the other side and they believe me?
It is murder because they don't believe it. You are possessing them.
Possessing them. Like I'm possessing this body.
A similar way, yes.
What if I cut her throat?
She will fight just as I did. And then we will come with even more force and we will make sure no one sets a foot in that house again. You won't stay there alone for eternity.
You know nothing about loneliness, my darling, and you know nothing about eternity.
The thing is, we want to help you to get out of this vicious cycle you are in. You want to stay like this forever? Being alone, having people around you that you have to murder and force to stay with you? They are not happy to be with you.
At this stage, Sinead starts chanting. And the door opens, and in walks what you can see out of the corner of your eye, definitely looks like a nun.
Okay. As long as Sinead is not freaking out about whoever comes in, Alice will be like, okay, nun is probably a good thing.
Yeah, nun's on the run. And yeah. And she starts, and this nun starts chanting as well in Latin. You can tell it's Latin because you went to Catholic school.
Alice would,
Yeah.
not too loudly, but loud enough that Dottie or Isabel in Dottie would still hear it. We are just trying to help. This needs to end. Adele should have paid for what she did, not you. But she would still hold on to Dottie. And to Sinead, obviously. Sinead is not fighting her, so that's the easier part.
Okay. You lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay.
You could start rolling percentile dice and let me know how you do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 20.
Dottie loses 1 point of sanity. Okay. Roll a percentile dice for me, please.
41.
Point of sanity. Okay, roll a d100, please.
Again a 41.
Okay. Okay. Now you want to roll really high.
High. Okay. How high should I be?
Anyway, just tell me what it is.
I rolled 100.
Excellent. Excellent.
I was just like, oh, why is this looking like it looks? I rolled a 100.
Okay. Okay, one more round.
$78.
Okay. Suddenly, Dottie keels over.
Okay.
What do you do?
Holding on to her, maybe like... Oh god. I can't really grab her because then I would need to let go of Sinead, which I learned I should not. So I will hold on to her hand and just trying... hopefully Sinead on the other side is trying to hold her up, or at least carefully let her slide off the chair, not to like go down.
Okay. So Dottie falls forward.
Okay.
Hold onto her hand. Sinead does as well. The
So
piano
she
is
would-
going crescendo. She just falls over on her face. Her face hits.
Well, since we are holding her, she would maybe not even have to face on the floor, but more knees and the rest hanging. Yeah, or we have the table in front of us, that's right, yeah.
So you're basically sitting around the table. So the piano goes into a crescendo. The nun walks over to the piano, and suddenly the piano explodes. You can now take damage. 1d10.
That's a 2.
Good. Let's see how the nun does. The nun also just takes 2 points of damage. So, the nun is thrown back, and the place is on fire. What do you do? Sinead says, "Oh my word."
Sinead says, "Oh my word." That's not good. Sinead.
Yes, dear. That was interesting. Did you see how it exploded?
Yes. Could you please turn it off, Isabel?
You know what? You're not very much one for fun, are you?
We're not here for fun. We are here to free the poor people that you are holding prisoner.
So that's what you're here for. You're here to free everyone I'm holding prisoner. You know what I say to you? Fight me. And Sinead jumps up and jumps into the fire.
I still am holding on to her.
Then because I mean obviously Dottie isn't holding on to her anymore because her hand has gone limp.
Yeah.
Strength.
That is a success.
Okay. She's struggling. She's trying to run towards the fire. What do you do?
I will let go of Dottie.
Okay.
And I will try to tackle
Okay.
best football manner Sinead.
Unarmed combat.
Oh god. That's brawl, right? Yeah, that's brawl. Yes! That is... Oh, it's a fight. I can't use luck, right? Then it's a hard success.
Okay, she fails. You basically, in spite of your knee and everything, you were an adventurer once, but you took an arrow to the knee. You basically tackle her like in football. I don't know if that was invented at the time already. And she just falls over flat on her face. And at that moment, all of the glass in the house seems to shatter.
Great.
You hear like thousands and thousands of shards exploding and falling to the ground. If there were mirrors, and yes there were, if there were glass cases, and yes there were, they are all splintering to dust.
This movie is so expensive. Alice...
And you hear an Italian voice saying, and you hear, sorry, an Italian voice, and you hear the male voice saying, "Until we meet again." The nun gets up and says, she usually says she can't be possessed, but obviously she's wrong. You will back me up with the story, right? You will confirm that she was possessed, because she will pretend she doesn't remember anything.
Is she still Alice will still have probably the knee basically in her back and really just like holding down.
You hear a voice saying, "Holy Mother of the sweet baby Jesus, what is going on? Get off me!"
Okay, Alice will get up, or probably sit next to her. We'll just...
What's going on? What? And what's that fire? Maybe we should get out of here. And at that moment, the fire actually ceases. What happened?
Alice will probably just, on her button, just go backwards, because that's the easiest way not to stand up, and just grab Dottie's hand, just to see if there's still a pulse, and Dottie is still...
There is a pulse, and Dottie is still warm-blooded, so
okay.
she's not dying anytime soon, probably. And she's slowly coming to.
Sinead, you were possessed by Isabel.
That is impossible. Ghosts
it's not impossible. We've all... Well, Dottie hasn't seen it, but we've seen it.
Well, Sinead says the nun, she's right. And all of this, "Oh, I can't be possessed, you know, because I'm so used to it," is nonsense. Nonsense. Of course you can be possessed, and next time you have to be a lot more careful. That piano nearly killed me when it exploded. I was thrown against the wall. Do you know what? I mean, like, look at my habit. It's dirty. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? And also, what actually was that man saying, "Until we meet again"? Who was that guy? And she's looking at you. "Hello, miss, can I get some answers here?"
I guess the black man?
The black man. Uh-huh.
That's at least the only man so far in the story.
She looks at Sinead, she's like, "What?" And Sinead is like, "Well, that was something else. We were summoning a ghost, but then something else appeared. First, it was like a vision of something that had happened in the past. But I'm pretty sure I can sense his presence still. It's fading fast. What exactly did he say to you?
Until we meet again. That sounded like a goodbye, see you later kind of.
You may
Also, if anyone goes...
a lot more careful in future, Miss Baker.
Well, as soon as we step outside here, we need to be careful, because a lot of things shattered out there. I guess all glass is broken. I will be broke after this, because... oh dear, it will be expensive, because I promised...
Glass shattered, and she storms out and opens the door and says, "Oh, that's what you mean. Well,
I guess I will have to pay Liz a lot more money, because she will be out of business for longer, and all of this needs to be fixed and cleaned up."
as you go,
I did not suspect. I would, first of all, see if Dottie is slowly
Yeah, she's getting
coming back.
coming round. Yeah, she actually looks quite fit now.
And
So,
Alice will,
didn't I?
well, first of all, what's the safe word?
Ego zoom.
Okay, good. It's you again.
Sinead looks at you and she looks at Dot. She's like, "That's very clever."
Well, now we need to find a new one, but at least I know Dottie is Dottie herself again. Well, let's have a careful inspection, although I think we should stick together still, or are they really gone?
You go outside and you see that, yes, a lot of stuff is shattered, but it's really only display cases and the shop windows. So it's not like any of the stuff got destroyed. So you can actually see an intact mirror. So it seems more like, for some reason, it didn't destroy. I mean, okay, there are shards everywhere. You have to walk carefully, and you know, there may be one or two scratches on that old mahogany table over there, which weren't there before, but all things considered. So Sinead looks around and she says, "Now we need to go to the house. We need to see if it worked."
I highly doubt it.
Well,
How should it work? Isabel was
look
there.
around you.
Is that an exorcism? The explosion and the fire more looks like, hey, I'm just
The last
showing
time
how mighty I
exercised
am.
somebody successfully, the results were a lot less tangible.
But the fire was basically out again.
Yeah, but that's beside the point.
We can still... You really want to go to that house?
We need to find out what happened, because she's gone. I mean, there is nothing here. I can't sense anything. So if anything is anywhere, it's in the house. I do not have enough power to do another summoning.
Dottie, how are you feeling?
Actually, quite good. I'm a bit hungry.
Then let's go. We should call someone. If we leave, the windows are broken. We need to make sure no one steals stuff from here.
Well then, call Liz. Don't call that sergeant of yours.
I'm not calling the sergeant.
There's a telephone over there.
How much time? How late is it?
You got started at around 5:30. It didn't take longer than it did in game time, so about 6:30.
Alice would call Liz and would just ask her if she has someone who would jump in case of an accident to fix the window, or at least to put some wood in front of it. Because
Why? What happened?
I'm really sorry, the front shop window broke. A few things more, not things, just the glass of the
What?
cases.
What have you been doing?
I told you what we are doing. You didn't want to have part of it. It seems to be quite normal that things break during... I didn't know that, and I for sure didn't know that would happen. We have to
I'm
go
telling
for...
you, the next cane you're buying off me is going to be quite expensive, Miss.
I am paying for everything that needs to
Don't
be
worry
fixed here.
about
You
it.
don't have to worry about that.
I do have insurance. Can we make it look like it was some vandals that tried to break into the shop?
No, honestly, I highly doubt. Well, they broke cases and did not steal anything. That will be highly prob problematic to explain.
And she's kind of like saying, maybe I could get away with water damage. I'll come by and I'll have somebody fix it.
I can pay. The only thing I want is the front window is open. Even if we lock the door, because we will have to leave for at least maybe 1 or 2 hours, and then we will come back and make sure to clean up. But someone should at least put some wood at the front window. If not, we will have people stealing stuff from
I'm
you.
going to get a carpenter to ensure that this is done. Yeah.
That would be really lovely. As I said, I will pay for the window being fixed. We don't have to go for insurance because it will be messy to explain this to them.
Well, it's going to be interesting to look at all of this, but I'm going to ring off now and call a carpenter. So, good luck.
Thank you, and I will call you latest tomorrow morning when we cleaned up the rest in here.
Yeah. Okay, so Bridget says, well, my car is outside. Well, it's not my car, technically belongs to the order, but you know, you get my meaning, right?
I'm really not keen on going there, but let's go because we... Well, actually, let me just quickly call the sergeant, and Alice would just call the sergeant.
Oh, Miss Baker, how can I help you?
I just wanted to check in with you. I haven't heard you for a while.
That is true, we haven't spoken in several days.
So everything is okay?
Well, I mean, considering that I shot you and I still haven't gotten over this because I have never shot a woman and it's really terrible. And my youngest has chicken pox.
That sounds worse than shooting me. To make sure you don't get it.
Oh, I had chicken pox before, but then again, you know, it means that we're getting extra special food because my wife kind of thinks that chicken and star soup is going to make him better, where, you know, I totally know that this is not the case, but everyone loves it, so hey.
There could be worse. That sounds like really, really good food.
But what's up with you? I mean, it's what have you been up to?
Not well. Getting better is the main goal, right? So
Yes,
we did not do much yet. We are still trying to figure out what to do. So
Well, I mean, that is really. I have been thinking about this as well. How about just maybe we could collect money to buy the house ourselves, and then just get it torn down.
I'm not sure it would be enough. It seems to be in the ground.
Oh.
But we are still trying to figure out all the details. We are in regular contact with Sinead because you know her. She knows stuff that we don't know, obviously. And we are still, as I said, trying to figure out stuff. Don't worry too much. I just wanted to check in, as I said, because we didn't talk for a while. And focus on your kid, that they get better quickly. And I will just call you in the next days. Maybe we have something new until then. And just stay safe.
Would be fantastic, but please don't overexert yourself. I mean,
I'm just talking. Talking is fine. I have the energy for that.
Talking is always fine. And ensure that you get good food. I mean, tell Dottie that you need good food.
I don't have to tell her. She is giving me a lot of good food. And I did a bit of shopping here and there. That helps as well. Makes everything better. You know, woman.
That's what my wife says. I don't get the appeal of going shopping for clothes, but apparently it does do stuff and a lot of good for the fairer sex.
It's definitely a lovely thing to get distracted and have some good feelings. So, as you hear, I'm doing all the best.
You can hear a child crying, and he's like, "Excuse me, I really need to
take care. I just wanted to check in. Have a nice rest of the evening and all the best for your kid.
Thank you,
Then
Mr.
she will hang up.
Do stay in touch. I will ring, let's say, in 2 days from now.
Perfect. I'm at home. Just give me a call.
Excellent. Okay, so, and you can hear, like, you know, it's obviously when he says that his youngest, it's kind of probably a year old or 2 years old, so really young, and he's crying. So he rings off, and so what do?
Relieved exhale. Well, something worked at least. The sergeant is himself again.
Oh, he wasn't?
No. Last time I called him, earlier today I called him and he was really off. He was not worried about me canceling in on meeting him. He didn't care, basically. He's guilt-driven on whatever happened and panicky. It was so weird that I was just like, okay, I just wanted to let you know I'm canceling in. Have a nice day, goodbye. Because you warned me, luckily, that something might happen.
That sounds like he was possessed.
It sounds like, because I just talked to him again and he did not remember that we talked today. He said we didn't hear each other in days. And it's totally him again. Every single word sounded like him. So at least that.
That is good. That is very good. So at least we know that if she did not die, or get dismissed, as I should say, she didn't jump back into him. Because she's clearly not inside of any of us.
No.
Alright, then, and Bridget is kind of like sitting behind the wheel and she's honking the horn saying, can we get moving?
Yes, let's start moving. Should I take a weapon with me this time?
I doubt that weapons will help.
But I need a cane, which is a weapon.
You can take your cane, but I would say please do not bring any guns.
A sword?
If we just stay two feet away from you, maybe, you know, if you pull the sword from the cane, she will not know that actually you need the cane for medical reasons. You might just fall over. I mean, you physically might just fall over because she doesn't know what's going on with the cane.
Okay, Alice will
bring, but you know, I mean, be careful.
I will not just a second. Alice will just have a quick snoop around because I guess that Liz would have everything kind of grouped by topics, so there would be a cane display. She would just pick a simple cane that is not too fancy and would just like, daughter, we need to give Liz the money for this, and she would just grab it and would leave her cane and her gun, basically her handbag probably, where it is, and she would just use a simple cane. I can still hurt people, but at least I can't murder them immediately.
Okay, cool. So you find a cane, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Get into the car. Bridget is obviously not a woman of patience.
I'm really sorry I had to get a cane because I can't walk too well without it.
That's quite all right, she says, and you can tell in her face that it's not.
Well, it kind of understand, but I could have been quicker, right?
She drives off and you arrive at 1206 Spooner. The house is in utter darkness and absolutely quiet.
As always.
As always. Unless, of course, it's being haunted, in which case it's not quiet, but hey.
So far from the outside, it was always dark and quiet.
Do you go inside?
I would look at Liz.
Liz, you mean Sinead?
Not Sinead, sorry.
Yeah, Sinead looks at the house and she says, looks quiet. Let's just go inside and see what we shall see. And she gets out of the car.
Okay.
Bridget follows on her heels, and Sinead does something odd. She plants her palm straight in the middle of the door.
Okay.
And closes her eyes.
Alice and Dottie probably get out of the car as well. Like 2 or 3 steps behind.
I can't feel anything. I have, of course, no reference because I have never been here before. but I have been to haunted places. They usually
Well,
different.
an easy way to
Now is
find
a good time for you to start praying, Bridget. Bridget obliges and starts praying in Latin. That's very good. Keep it going.
We can just go inside and try to move something outside.
She tries the door handle and it's locked. She's like, oh, the door's locked.
Alice pulls out the key that she
Oh,
has
that's
in her
practical.
pocket.
You open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Sinead takes the handle, turns it, and flings open the door, but doesn't walk in. She's like, all right.
Should I go in and grab something and we see what happens?
That's a very good idea. Bridget, keep praying. And she says, is there anything that you think is kind of like a personal item? Ow!
Like a cat killing you?
You know how they have like these...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He was trying to climb my leg. Ow!
You
What?
are not a climbing tree.
No. Oops. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, girl. Yeah, he's still a little bit too small to actually make the whole jump.
He needs some help.
Yeah.
I would step inside. I would ask Dottie also to stay outside. And I would step inside. I would... Do we already have light? Yeah, we have light switches.
Yes. The lights go on and the light stays on.
Which is already something. And then Alice would step inside, loudly talking, like, okay, Isabel, what would be something that belonged to you that you don't want to have the house leaving? She would look around for mirror, maybe?
Master bedroom.
Another mirror in the hallway, maybe?
No. Make an idea roll, please. That's, that's...
Yeah, I know. That is a 50, so a success.
Remember the mahogany table and the bone china and the sterling silver in the dining room?
Yeah, the table is definitely not the way, but the rest might be. Just give me a second. I hope I will not have to scream and die in there. I will just grab some of the china or silver stuff because it looks like it has been here a while.
Okay, you go into the dining room, you know where it is. It's small. I mean, you switch on the lights as you go, I assume, and the lights come on, it's not a problem. You enter the dining room and it is like it was before. And suddenly you see a woman.
In the dining room.
Yeah. She turns to you and she says, hello. I know you.
Alice is just like, I don't want to disturb you. Have you seen Isabel around?
Isabel. Not for a while. I was wondering where she might be. Usually she is around here, not at the moment.
I know. She has been busy.
Make a perception. Sorry, is it called spot hidden? Sorry.
The thing is, Alice is feverishly, while I'm going through my notes, thinking about, I have it, the name of the lady. Oh, that was a horrible roll. That's an 88.
Okay.
And Alexandra, right?
Oh yes, my name is Alexandra.
We found I think your diaries in there, or at least some books in Russian?
Oh
We
yeah,
did
that
not
would be
touch
my
them.
diary. I had to write down what was happening in the house. It was very strange. But
It
then it all stopped all of a sudden. I don't know why, but now I'm still in the house, but not in the house.
just give me a second because we are here to give you, and there are others here, aren't they?
Oh yeah, there are plenty. So far I've met about 15, but there may be others.
You all deserve to go where you should be, in a better place, not stuck here, not being able to move on.
Why a
Just,
better place?
well, you're kind of stuck in between light and... Just let me get the professional. Don't go anywhere.
Oh no, I
Call,
won't. It's
call
time
out
to
if
pass
you
somebody
see
from
Isabel. And Alice would step out again without. She would still grab a piece of the china. She would still grab a piece of the china, just looking at Alexandra again. Was that already in your house when you moved in here?
Yes, I would not buy such things.
I can understand because you remodeled some of the rooms really, really nicely,
Did
and
you see that green one? That was
that's
awful. I never got around to
atrocious. Whoever had that idea definitely should learn how colors can look nicely. But the other renovations party were really, really. I will be back in a second, and Alice will just go
see
out
that she
to
sits
the
down
door
at the desk, at the table, and she basically folds her hand in front of her and says, I will be here.
Thank you so much. And Alice will go through the front to the front door with China in the hand. Will look a bit like, I just met a ghost in there. The
You know, such things.
lady that basically died in here. Well, not last, second last. She was the last owner of the house. She says she hasn't seen Isabel in a while.
No, that's a good piece of information. Maybe it's good news too. Maybe she hasn't returned.
The question is, do we have a chance to, if Isabel is not there, to help the others to leave?
We can try and exercise the whole house.
Because the people here are good people in here. They don't belong here. They shouldn't be stuck here.
Did you get the impression that she knows she's dead?
No, she doesn't.
Oh. All right, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult, but
Let's
we're
let's
at the
see.
same
But
time.
she met a few others here. So there, well, we know there are a lot of ghosts here. So then they met each other. They talked to each other. It seems like Arthur. And Alice will just turn around. Will just Dottie take that, and she would just
Dottie takes the thing.
basically hold out the china and would just turn, Arthur.
You don't hear a response.
I really hoped he would be there again.
Well, just because he's not on this side of the mirror doesn't mean he's not here. It's just that he chooses or not to or cannot engage at the moment. You see, their power comes and goes.
I just
Well,
hope we
back to the
can.
house. I mean, the thing is that we can draw the power out of the house, but it also means that they will all be gone. So we need to tell them what's going to happen.
I just wanted to have. I did not know if. I don't want to shock them.
There is no easy way to tell somebody who doesn't know that they're dead that they're actually dead.
Should I just ask Alexandra and maybe she can call in more of the others if everyone can just meet in the hallway?
That would be one way of doing it.
And then we can talk to all of them together, and I'm just making a normal thing out of seeing a ghost talking to me. This is so great.
I will stay here in the hallway. You go and talk to her.
But it really seems Isabella's not there because that is her china. It left the house. No angry
Turns
so
around and says, "Smash it, Dottie. Dottie, opens her hands and falls to the ground. Did you feel anything, darling? No. No, I felt nothing.
Good.
Okay, that's very good news.
That's a good sign.
She is there. Her influence is so much weakened because remember how you told me you couldn't buy that ugly bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If Sinead didn't feel, if Dottie didn't feel anything, it means that the influence is a lot less now.
Okay.
Also, you could take it out of the house, which was easy for you. It didn't seem like you were struggling.
It was not a struggle like trying to grab that freaking bowl. Okay, just give me a second. Alice will go back towards the dining room.
At the desk, at the table like you left her. She's now looking at her folded hands, and as you walk in, she says, "Oh, you're back. That's very nice." So.
I was just curious. We would need to tell you and the others a few things about Isabel and what has happened. Do you think you could collect at least whoever you can find and we can meet in the hallway? I will see if I can find Arthur and maybe a few of the others as well.
Well, I can try. I will see if they are available.
Thank you so much. It's really important, kind of life-changing for all of you, probably.
Oh, that sounds very intriguing. I will convey your message.
Thank you.
And she vanishes in front of your eyes.
Alice will turn around and will slowly walk towards the bedroom, the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you walk towards the master bedroom. What do you do?
She will carefully open the door, or the door is open is the question.
The door is open, yeah.
She will just peek in. It looks like a horror scenario.
Yeah, it's still full of blood, so nothing has happened since then.
Arthur?
You hear nothing.
Arthur, dear. Sarah is quite worried.
You hear nothing.
Anyone else here? That's not.
You hear a voice. It's Dottie. She says, "Alice, madam, I think you should come to the hallway."
Okay. Alice will turn around and walk back to the kitchen and then to the hallway.
The hallway is full of people. Children. Mainly adults, but 2 or 3 children there as well. Some of them look a little bit out
Shot in the face,
Yes.
drowned,
Yeah,
exploded, burned. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Sinead pulls you on the sleeve and says, "Can I have a moment?"
Just give us a second. We didn't talk about who will give you the message. Just a second, please. Thank you. And she will follow Sinead.
Here is the deal.
Yes.
You explain to them the facts.
Okay.
I will start the dismissal.
Okay.
I have to concentrate, so I can't talk to them.
I'm
Can
fine.
expect them to be really shocked.
I can imagine that.
Anything
I would be shocked.
ghosts or spirits can lead to the shock manifesting itself physically. You may feel sick, you may feel weak, but you have to keep going.
Okay.
It's important that they understand that we're here to help.
Yes.
If all goes well, it'll only take me about 3 minutes to dismiss them.
Okay.
But the main thing is, the less afraid they are, the easier it is for me. All right? Nobody wants to die because nobody knows what's on the other side, because their problem is once they realize that they're dead, they think that what they have been experiencing is the other side. It is the other side, but not the other side.
It feels more like an in-between. You're stuck.
Yes, kind of. So, you know, try to make it sound like, well, the problem is I can't even ask you to make it sound like you know what it's like, because not even I know what it's like.
No one knows what it's like, although I can imagine being stuck in this house with the ugly green room forever, not being able to change anything about it.
Ugly green room is really the biggest issue.
Well, it's really awful. I will try to be nice and try to explain as best as I understand. Maybe it helps.
Okay, so she basically starts talking. She starts talking under her breath, very, very quietly. As she's
Alice,
walking in with you, so she's following you, and you're walking in front.
well, thank you again, everyone, for joining.
Who are you? Says a woman from the back, and she was waving her hand.
Oh, I'm really sorry. How rude! I'm entering all of your house because you are all once owners of this house. Alice is my name.
Nice to meet you, Alice.
Nice to meet all of you.
And she's looking at you quite expectantly. I mean, she's positively beaming at you.
Well, I'm here because, well, we stumbled here by accident because a loved one died not long ago in this house.
And you hear a lot of, I'm so sorry for your loss. So different people are expressing their condolences.
Alice would scan the room. She has seen a photo of Arthur. She knows how he looks.
I think you've seen the dead body too. You were,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, give me a spot hidden.
Just to see if he's there, because he could be a good point to start. That is a 5. Let me see, but I'm quite sure it's a critical success. Yeah, it's a critical success.
Yeah, you see him. He's standing kind of like in the middle.
And I don't want to shock anyone. I just want to give you the full picture of where you are. You are in Spooner House, and the last one dying here was Arthur. He's standing there, right with you guys. He's, I think, the only one probably that did not belong here.
But Arthur's not dead. I mean, he just moved in.
He did not move in. He got killed by Isabel in the master bedroom.
Isabel? I mean, she's our landlady. Why would she kill the people who rent her place?
You're not rent. You're stuck in here. She is taking people. She has been taking people for years and years. She was the initial owner of the house.
Yeah, and she's renting it out to us. I've got a room, says the lady.
She was the owner of the house like 100 years ago.
What do you mean 100 years ago?
You all were owners after she died, but she's still in this house as, I would say, spirit, ghost, however you want to call it. And she wants company.
But
so
if she's owned the house for over 100 years, that's not possible. Nobody lives that long.
As I said, she's a spirit. She's not like me. She's not alive anymore. And I am really, really heartbroken to say none of you are. You're all spirits. She took all of you and placed you here for her company. I'm happy to see at least that you all were not suffering, because we were really worried that you were stuck here like in prison. It sounds like she made it actually a really nice place for you guys, except the weird green room that someone should have changed.
You hear a couple of chuckles. Yeah, that green room.
But
you see shock in people's faces, and then a man says, "Well, but I mean, that's all nonsense. I mean, I'm not dead. I mean, look at me." And he touches himself, and he says, "If I was dead, could I do this?"
Well, the question is, can you touch me?
I would never touch a lady that I don't know. And then one of the women's like, give over, Charles, and she walks over.
Just see if you can give me a handshake.
And she touches you, and her hand goes right through you.
We are not here to shock you or to make it even worse. We are here to help. You are stuck.
What do you mean help? You're just telling me I'm dead?
Well,
how is that helping?
The thing is, we are here to help to free you from this place. You're stuck. Not being alive.
Place?
You don't want to be stuck here for forever and turn into what Isabel was.
Well,
grabbing
I'm
people.
moving out at some point, yes.
Well, the thing is, you can't move out. You are bound to this place if we don't do something. And you all have been here partly for years now.
So what are you saying? You want us to basically pack our bags and leave? I don't know where to go. I mean, the rent is quite cheap here. How am I going to afford another place in New York City?
You don't have to pay rent. I don't know how many of you. Well, I'm not the most church-going kind, but there is the thing about
from the nun.
you always hear the sentence that if you die, you go into the light, into a better place. And that is exactly where you all should be in freedom and peace. You should not be here stuck in between.
One of the women who's like maybe 30, she's like, well, I'm not ready to die. I'm 31. What are you saying?
Well, the question is, just to be curious, who are you? Looking, wait, I have the list.
I'm
Which I can't open.
sorry, I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Touré.
Rebecca.
1887 to 1890, where she was
87. There we have her. We have now 1930.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous, I'm not lying.
But
You have been here for a very long time because you loved this place and started a life here, and sadly Isabel ended your life here. And then she took
ended my life. You're really trying to tell me that I'm dead.
You are all dead. I've seen Arthur's body. He's definitely dead, and we
Everybody
have
looks at Arthur.
the paperwork for all of you that you've been deceased, and then the next one came in. If I remember right, after Rebecca, I think. I'm not sure, is Jonathan around? Mr. Reese?
You see Mr. Reese, and you can tell that he's got a noose around his neck.
Mr. Reese, you were the next one, and the next nice decoration around your neck was not your decision, it was Isabel.
He
And
touches his neck, and you can tell that he obviously doesn't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Reese was the next one buying the house after Rebecca, you died. And after Mr. Reese died, there was a doctor, I think Weaver or something
Weaver.
like that. He had the house for not much, and then the next family came in. I'm not sure.
Thomas and Imogen Greeley and family.
The Greeley family.
There you see two adults, a man and a woman, and a child, and they're all burnt to a crisp, and they're looking at each other, and they're going, "What is she talking about?"
You burned to death. I know you. I'm. As I said, I'm really happy to see that you don't suffer here, but you are stuck. This will not change. This will stay like this forever. You will not be able to move on. You will not age.
You can now make a decision. Do you want to roll on persuade or psychology?
I think psychology. She wants to find the right words to make them click. It's not that she wants to like persuade them. She really wants them to understand honestly, and psychology is maybe the best way to go. And that is, oh god, I can use luck. Thank goodness.
Yeah, you can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh god. 8. Barely a success.
Okay.
I rolled
So
horribly.
you have one. So you have a normal success. Okay.
Normal success.
You suddenly hear Sinead's voice, and she says, "I know that this is a lot to take in. I have seen this before, and there is no easy way. But I want you to all close your eyes. And everyone actually, I mean, there is something about her voice that is very soothing, and everyone actually closes their eyes. And she says, I want you to think of a time before you moved in, before you took out the lease, before Isabel became your landlady. And I want you to focus on a moment there. Focus on a moment when you were really happy. Capture that moment. And when you now open your eyes and you look to your right, there is a door there. And I want you to go to that door, because that door will take you to that moment. And people are starting to kind of sway, and you can see, you know, when somebody's really concentrating, they hardly ever stand completely still. And the first person opens their eyes and looks to their right, and you look too. Do you follow them? There is no door. You see nothing. And this person walks towards the wall, stretches out their hand as if they were turning a doorknob, and just walk into the wall and vanish. And one by one, over the next 5-10 minutes, all of them leave through the wall. Sinead waits a good while until everyone has left, and she says, and then she closes her eyes and she's very, very, very quiet. She says, they're all gone. There is no one left. And Isabella's gone too. But I'm pretty sure she didn't go to the light.
Well, after what she did, I'm not sure she deserves to go to the light. I just hope these people went to a better place.
Well, depending on who you met, the place she may have gone to may be so terrible that we don't even want to think about it. Because while maybe hell doesn't exist, there are hellish places. Well, Miss Baker, that was an interesting experience for me.
Well,
I've never seen so many spirits in one place.
Only for you. At least these spirits, they didn't suffer here. I thought she was holding them like in cages, but they seemed quite happy here.
Well, I think that maybe, just maybe deep down, there was something that she did remember. She drained their power. But she somehow managed to suggest to them that this is where they wanted to be.
Well, they were talking about that she was the landlady and they were renting like rooms and places, so it felt like home for them the whole time.
I suppose in a way they were.
Most of them, definitely. The question now, is the house safe?
She looks around, she says, well, I wouldn't want to live here. Have you seen the neighbors? They're all like 80.
I know it's not for me, but the house is still on the market to be sold. So the
Well,
question
as far
is,
as I
can we
as
put
far as
it
I
out?
can, there is some really ugly green room, but once that greenness has been removed, I don't see why you shouldn't be setting.
Not to shock you, there's a lot of blood in the master bedroom because one person was murdered and the second one shot. But they can clean that up. They will have to renovate anyhow.
Yes.
And they will have to...
Just to remove every single item from the house. Everything. Every movable item. Remove everything. Furniture, cutlery, crockery, I don't care. Take everything away.
They had the plan anyhow, so...
And don't sell it. Just destroy it. Have it burnt. Whatever. Just get rid of it. Don't hold on to anything.
Okay. We can manage that.
Very good. She looks at her sister and says, Bridget, I think it's about time we got your car home. Will you give these ladies a lift and then, drop me off and then you can go back to your convent?
Just drop us off at Liz's place again. That would
Okay.
be lovely.
She does. You arrive at Liz's place. Liz's place is completely boarded up.
Okay.
Sorry, by Liz's place you mean her.
Her antique store,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, so yeah, so the antique store is completely boarded up. Whoever did the work was very quick.
Good. Also, Alice locked the door of the house, obviously,
Yeah,
before we left, so at least still no one gets in there
yeah.
without asking. And she has the key to the door here, so we can still enter the store. We will say,
You see Liz in the store with two other people, and they are cleaning up, and she says, actually, this is not half bad because those display cases have been quite old and a lot of them were in the way, but I never got round to actually removing them. You just don't do display cases anymore these days. You have mannequins and you basically hang the jewelry on them. It just makes it come out a lot more. And she looks at you and she sees your cane and she says, oh, another acquisition from me. That
yeah,
was $50.
well, we will make an inventory and we will see how much I will have to give to you because I also have to pay at least a piano.
Oh, you know what? That old thing?
Yes.
Nobody wanted to buy it anyway, remember?
Also the
And
other
it lay
stuff.
by itself, so I'm very happy to be rid of it.
Also the
Not
other
mention
stuff from the house I want to buy as well.
Oh, all right. Okay, good. Because, it's just basically taking up space.
Yeah, we need to get rid of it just.
I'm going to make you a special price. Let's say the cane for $50, and I'm going to throw in the stuff from the house, and she starts calculating in her head. So that will be, you're going to have it picked up, right?
Yeah, I will organize to get it picked up and
Okay, in
burned.
that case, $51 in total, but you will pay for the transport, and I will never hear of this stuff again. Deal? And I'm not accepting returns. If you're unhappy,
No, you definitely have a deal. I'm not sure, Dottie, we probably don't have that much money on us. We will bring you the money tomorrow morning.
oh, that's not a problem at all, Ms. Baker.
Let's just help you to clean up.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're fine. And actually, they have done most of it. She says, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes this is kind of like a spiritual experience to be cleaning up, to be pushing out the old, to bring in the new.
Okay, if you need, well, we
I
will
will be in
come.
touch about picking up the stuff. I will crate it for you and
Just put it in a corner. I will just grab my stuff I left in front of your
yeah,
office.
in my office. The door is open. You can let yourself.
And oh, here's your key, by the way. Here's
Oh,
your
thank
key.
you.
Thank you
She puts it in.
so much. And then Alice will go to the back and grab her stuff. Also, I think Sinead and her sister, they went off basically. They dropped us and left, right?
And then they went back to the convent. Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, Dottie, then I guess it's time to go home and maybe get some food.
Yeah, I'm really starving at this stage. Dismissing ghosts is kind of hungry work.
And yeah, then we'll visit Liz tomorrow. And for Sinead and maybe also her sister, we should make maybe a nice dinner and invite them
Oh yes, of course. I want more.
whenever it fits for them. And then thank you so much, Liz, again. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, that's not a problem. But you look a little bit pale. Maybe you should go and lie down.
Well,
After
we're
you've
planning
had something
to go home now, so let's do that. And Alice will just hook her arm to Dottie, and they will just leave, probably seeing if they can grab a cab outside
Well,
somewhere.
it's still only 9 o'clock, so
Then cabs should be around, and then going home.
Okay, so you basically take your cab, you drive home, you arrive, everything is fine, everything is in order. Dottie says, I can offer soup and sandwiches. I'm not gonna make a pot roast.
I'm totally fine with whatever is quickest to do. I would also love a sandwich, and honestly, we both deserve a nice whiskey or brandy.
Yes, but after dinner, because you know how it doesn't agree.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she vanishes in the kitchen. You hear a couple of pots and pans being moved, and then about 10 minutes later, the slight scent of somebody making vegetable soup from scratch. And an hour later, no, not even. I mean, she's a very good cook. At about 10:15, there is a very good vegetable soup and plenty of sandwiches on the table. And she also has pulled out 2 tumblers and she's put the whiskey on the table. And she says, well, maybe we should just eat.
Let's just eat. Thank you for putting things together. Thank you for putting up with all of this. Thank you.
Well, to be quite honest, that was something else. I mean, did you hear that nun? She was constantly praying. I mean, I have never heard anyone know so many prayers in Latin. She didn't repeat it even once while we were there.
That is quite impressive.
Yeah. So basically, you conclude the day, you have your dinner, you have your whiskey, and Dottie says, well, I do believe that I need to go to bed now. I'll look after the dishes tomorrow because I feel kind of drained.
Yeah, well, I'm tired as well. Let's get some sleep. I'll just make sure everything is locked up as always.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is a new day, and we have a lot of people to inform and things to organize.
Okay, so jump to the next day and we're going to summarize the things you're going to do. So what are you going to do?
So first of all, she would call Mr. Smythe to ask when he has time to meet up.
He gives you an appointment, no problem.
She will call the sergeant to ask him if he has time for lunch tomorrow or the day after.
An appointment. He'll meet you in a fancy restaurant in the middle of town.
She will call. No, she would grab a cab and Dottie some money and go to Liz's place. On the way, she would probably grab like 2 big flower bouquets that you can nicely place like in windows or on a desk or things like that to make it more pretty. And they would be for Liz. She would give Liz a lot more money than just the money Liz wanted. At least she would offer. I'm not sure if Liz would take it or not.
Like, oh, that's too kind of you, but you know, the tax man. So what I can do is I can put it into your account, and as you come by and buy more things, we will just deduct it from your account, or you can just take it and go home again with it.
Then I will take it, and I will be a steady customer buying stuff from you to make sure that you are not running out of lovely things you can sell. Because
Thank you.
if I buy stuff, you can get new
That
stuff.
is very, very good of you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we will have a great business relationship.
Thank you so much.
I have created your stuff, so you can pick it up whenever.
Thank you. I will give you a call when the people come to get it. Then Alice would invite Dottie for a very nice lunch in a fancy, pretty restaurant, whatever Dottie wants to eat.
Dottie has a couple of ideas and she runs a couple of different restaurants by you and you make a choice together because you know that these are the 3 that she loves best.
Yeah.
But basically between them she's kind of like they're all equally good. So you basically make a decision together out of these 3.
Okay.
And you have a lovely, lovely lunch. It's not inexpensive, but
it's just to treat ourselves. We definitely deserve that. When we get back home, she would have Dottie call around if she can find out someone who can collect the stuff and burn it, destroy it, throw it out.
Ring one of your. I mean, there are forwarding companies that.
Yeah. That is organized and that they should just contact Liz basically to make an appointment to grab it. She knows that someone will come by.
Yeah.
And then she will go to the safe, grab the diary, also the translation of the diary, and I guess she has like a tiny backyard. It's more like probably just a tiny place behind the house. Not, well, kind of. And she would, oh no, she doesn't go outside. She would, yes, she would go outside. She would make like a fire. I could imagine her having like a fire pit, a tiny one that you could sit around.
For even so, it's just. I mean, even though it's just a small backyard, there will be leaves falling in from the trees outside. So you have one of those oil drums, kind of like
Perfect.
where you burn leaves in the autumn.
Yeah. That would be the one. She would put some wood in there or leaves in there, put the diary in there, the translation in there, and would burn them.
They catch fire like you would expect paper to do, and they burn.
She would probably wait and look until it burned down completely.
Yeah, so that does happen. It takes a little
paranoid.
while because, of course,
That's fine.
the cover of the diary takes a little longer to burn, but it does burn completely, and you just have ashes.
Perfect. She will then get back to the house, and well, the next day or the next meetings when she meets Mr. Smythe, she would basically give him just the information that the house should be fine again. It should be renovated, definitely, because sorry to say there's still blood in there. The police did not take care of that. But it's safe now again. The only thing, please get rid of everything in there.
All right.
And don't sell it. Get rid of it.
You mean get rid of it, rid of it?
Rid of it. Like termites infested everything. I don't know. We need to make sure that the things in the house just burn and destroy it.
Yes.
The house itself, there are horrible looking rooms. You really need to renovate before anyone will buy this house. But the house is safe again.
An interior decorator with me.
There is an ugly lime green room in there that Alexandra did not have the time to renovate. She got, well, she died before she could finish, but it's really atrocious. But yeah, basically Alexandra's family is free to sell it now if
Well,
they
thank
want
you so much, Miss Baker, for your help. I will see to all of this. I have taken down your instructions, and I will see that they get carried out to the letter.
Perfect. And just before Alice leaves, she would just, without saying a word, she would just like lean on the table, put the key there, and would just go. Because she doesn't want to have the key to the house anymore, so she will leave it with her Smythe. And the dinner with the sheriff will be, he will get a very short summary of what happened. Basically, we did the exorcism in the antique store. The piano exploded, which was not so much fun, but hey. And that we then went to the house and that everyone was there. Well, not Isabel, but everyone else was there. And we set them free. So it's done.
He listens to you. You can tell that he's hanging on every word that you say, and then when you finish he says, so there is a life after death then?
Well, they went somewhere. It looked like they stepped through a door.
Well, this has all been a terrible experience, but that kind of gives me some comfort.
Also, the people there did not suffer. Arthur had the feeling he just had a new home he was living in, so... Also, I'm not sure... Oh, I did not even check. Shit.
What?
In retrograde, can I try to remember if I've seen the photographer?
Yeah, he was there.
Okay. So everyone was just thinking they were there on their free will, like renting the place or room in the place. So even... How was his name? The poor photographer? He had a name. Charles? No.
He was not Officer Miller, that was somebody
No,
else.
Miller was the one that
Yeah.
got drunk with
Yeah.
Dottie.
Milner Quimby was the coroner. I don't remember his name, I'm afraid. He was
Did we
one I
even
made
put
up.
it down?
I didn't write down his name, I'm afraid.
Down, Sergeant, Census, Try, Stabilize. Oh wait. Scream, Dottie. We are the worst. I did not write down his name either.
Me neither, yeah. I do have Jack.
Clark! Clark
yeah,
is his
Clark,
name.
Clark, over for Clark, yeah. Maybe he left.
Exactly. So Clark was there as well. He also left. So we have confirmation that he died, but well, as I said, he's
But
at least free
according
now.
to you, he just thought that he had rented a room in there.
Yeah, they all felt just like, hey, I'm home. At least they didn't suffer
Well,
after they
no, I know
died.
what you mean. That is
A
comfort.
kind of bit
It's kind
comforting.
of comfort because you know it's but an afterlife there is something there that is comfort.
And yeah, so it is over, it is done. The house will be renovated but cleaned out. And I burned a diary just to be safe and sound because honestly, creepy as hell.
Yeah, nobody will miss it considering that it was stuck in that piano for how long? That must have been decades.
A long time.
Yeah.
And that means the spooky stuff is over and I don't have to mingle in your affairs anymore.
Well, I mean, it wasn't. Well, I mean, I suppose yes. Anyway, so thank you very much. It was a pleasure in spite of everything, and I'm really terribly sorry that I shot you, but you know.
You really don't have to be sorry. It was not you. And it all took a good end, so you don't have to worry about that. You did a very fine job. And you helped us enormously. So, don't be too hard, Sergeant Miller.
After all we know now, I mean, maybe
Getting-
it's good that he was drunk.
Getting drunk was probably the best idea to have in the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we will probably just finish dinner, say our goodbyes, and then Alice would go home and would give her good friend. Oh God, let me see. What was his name? Where are the guys?
Matthew?
Matthew.
Yes. Matthew.
Would give Matthew a call and let him know on where we will meet for the weekend dance.
Yeah, and he will pick you up, and of course Dottie knows because she is master and commander of your diary, and she knows when you are going to meet him in order to go dancing, and she has chosen a lovely selection of dresses to choose that you can choose from. And she says, well, this is going to be interesting. Your first social outing since the shooting. I do hope it will go well, Miss Baker.
I am quite sure I'm in the best company I could wish for.
That is true. And she basically calls you a cab, and you meet Matthew. And so, do you know what kind of a dance you would be attending? So, what kind of a do would that be?
I could imagine for Alice it would be a club that would play like jazzy music, where you can also just sit and have a nice drink, have a smoke, just talking, and that have like a tiny live band maybe with this, just some music and a dance floor where you can just go in and out, talking to people, sitting with them, talking to them, and then doing some dancing if you feel like it. And it would be not completely high society. It would be a mix. So yes, there are people there from upper level as well, but also it's a bit of a mix of people. Not too snobby, because Alice, yeah, no, it wouldn't be too snobby.
Okay, good. So you have a lovely, lovely evening, and then he says, well, and I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
And he hands you an envelope. Go on, open it.
Matthew. She will carefully open it.
Yeah.
What is in the envelope? I'm not able to write the word envelope.
And it says, you are cordially invited to Simmons Strand self-catering chalets. You and a friend for 1 week. And he looks at you and he says, I'm not that friend. This is a gift to you. And before you say you can't accept it, it cost me nothing. Okay?
Okay.
So I am going to be posted, as it were, in Simmons Strand for 4 weeks. So there is some legal stuff. My association is taken care of. And I was given an invitation to stay on for a week at this place. Now, I have no intention of doing that because, you know me and the seaside, you know, there's all fresh air and no work and it's all terrible. So, you know me, I don't take holidays. But I thought that you might be interested in going there with Dottie. And if you're willing, we could meet up. So if you came down while I'm there for my 4 weeks, we could, you know, maybe go and have dinner one day. I mean, I'm not going to crowd you guys because I will be working anyway, but maybe we could just catch up and, I don't know, they have one of those cinemas there, you know, like the moving pictures.
That sounds like a lovely place, and honestly, after what happened the last weeks...
Yeah, and also after you getting shot, so I thought this might be a really good... but I know that you are an independent young lady and you don't accept gifts. That is fine. So this is not a gift because I didn't pay for it. So technically it's not a gift.
Alice will just take his hand just in between her hands, just like, thank you so much. This is the perfect timing and the perfect thing to gift to me, next to helping me to get out into social life again.
Well, I don't know what you know about Simmons Strand. Simmons Strand used to be like a fisherman's kind of like place, you know. It was small. There was nothing. However, then they decided to bring in tourists from the eastern seaboard, and it's been taking off since then. It's a really up and coming town, and these holiday chalets are absolutely new. They are newly built. So this is kind of like an offer from the client whose business we're looking after. And well, basically, you know, in addition to paying us, he said, well, you know, whoever's going to come down could stay on for a week in one of the chalets. And I have seen pictures. They look really lovely.
I am excited to see the place. I've never been there.
And they've also got a railway station. That only opened last year, so it's brand new. But they have all of the amenities. There are sea baths. There are, you know the stuff that they have in Ireland. You know, in the islands, like in the west, where they basically get like seaweed and you can steam in it, and it's really good for the skin. They have all that. I'm pretty sure that Dottie will know what I'm talking about.
It sounds like a lovely place, and we will definitely make sure to be there when you are there, because you know I love your company, and I know you work too hard, so you need someone there, at least from time to time, to get you out of the office, away from your papers, at least for a nice dinner or lunch.
Well, so then we've got a deal. So, and he takes out a piece of paper from his notebook and he scribbles down the name and the address of the hotel. So this is where I'm staying. If you give them a ring and you just tell them that you want to speak to me, they will take a message, and then, you know, you can send me a telegram to tell me when you're arriving at the station, and I will pick you girls up. because I will be given a car to drive around there, but I will be going down by train myself because, you know, I don't really like driving. The train goes from New York Central Station directly to Simmons Strand, but it is a bit of a stretch. It's about 5 hours, so, you know, you girls want to kind of, you know, have some food with you, but then again, you're traveling with Dottie, so that...
I was just like, we will have even snacks if it's just an hour train ride.
Yes. And so the way this works is they're self-catering, but it means that they have kind of like a basic setup there already. So, you know, like salt and pepper and that kind of thing. But whatever food you like, you would have to buy yourselves. But what I could offer is I could just get you the staples, some milk, some bread, some butter, you know, so that you have something for the first evening. And then you can go shopping on the very first day that you're in and just, you know, take in the seaside. You might be getting some nice fish or something.
The stable or just the basic stuff, I think Dottie would love that. And she will definitely want to do some food shopping, I'm sure. Fresh fish and things we don't eat too often here. That would be really,
so I'll
really
just
lovely.
put together, you know, like your basic stuff for bacon, lettuce and tomatoes.
I will give you...
And then you can go shopping the next day.
Dottie will give your secretary or assistant a list because she is quite...
Or like that, yes.
You know,
Yes,
that's
even better.
we don't want that the wrong thing is there, and that's not the way to start. So I will ask her what she wants on basic stuff, and we can get it organized. That would be really, really lovely. Just when are you leaving for the place?
I'm leaving on Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
So, but I mean, you can just basically also leave the list of shopping items with the hotel. They will take a message from you, and then I will just get whatever it is that Dottie desires.
Well, you will be, as always, in the office on Monday, right?
Absolutely, of course.
So your assistant definitely will have the list on Monday by noon. Then you can just take it with you and organize it in peace and quiet. I imagine we will probably need like a week to arrange stuff, and then...
for 4 weeks, so that should be absolutely fine.
We will join you in the middle. I will tell you also then on Monday when we call, we will also give exactly when we plan to arrive, that you can plan with that.
That is perfect. This is going to be
lovely.
Really, really great. I'm really looking forward to this.
The seaside, I'm so excited. It's so nice to get out of this. I love the city, don't get me wrong. I really love the city, but from time to time, it's really nice to just get out of here and breathe.
Yeah, and it's now, we started in May, so it's now late May, early June, and it is getting terribly hot. Yeah, so you spend a pleasant evening, you know, he drops you off home, he kisses your hand, as he is wont to do, and you arrive at home, and Dottie is sitting in the sitting room, curled up on the sofa, and she's reading a book.
Dottie, dear.
Yes?
Matthew gave us a surprise.
Oh,
also,
really?
all the greetings from him. He's still worried that I'm not careful enough. Well, he luckily doesn't know what we went through. But
maybe we shouldn't tell him.
No, worse enough, he knows.
Shot. I mean,
yeah, that was scary enough for him. Best note is I can dance. It's still working. It was a really nice evening. The second,
her face lights up. She's really glad.
He gave me like a gift card he got and he is not able to use because, well, he is from next week on for 4 weeks. He's at the seaside at Simmons Strand, and he got from the company that pays him to be there like an extra gift certificate for 1 week at a holiday chalet at the seaside in Simmons Strand. So it's for us. It's a house where we have to take care of ourselves. So the basic stuff is there, but we need to cook and make food and everything on our own. But we would have for a week a house at the seaside.
That is fantastic.
I told him that we would join him at least when he's there. Not beginning of next week. That he's leaving Tuesday. That's too quickly. Honestly, we need to
And
maybe
he'll probably
arrange and
be
plan.
very busy on his first couple of days because I guess there's
I guess as well. So
bearings and everything and talk to clients. So and there might even be dinners for him to attend. So
probably it would be good if they take him out for dinners because he forgets to eat from time to time if he's busy in his
he's
papers.
a little bit like you then, isn't he?
Point taken. I told him maybe that we join him in his second week. That gives us a week of preparation, and then we can join him. We can go there by train directly from Central Station. It goes directly to there. He can pick us up there or get something arranged. He also offered if we would want like a basic shopping done before we come there, like some milk, some eggs, some bread.
That is very thoughtful of him. I still don't understand why he hasn't got a wife yet.
I honestly don't know. He deserves the best wife by his side.
Well, I mean, so basically, I will draw up a list of things that we should have on the first day.
That was my idea. The basic stuff, we should plan to get there that we can still do some shopping. Maybe we can get some fresh fish or something nice also.
That sounds lovely.
But the basic stuff, I told him that we will send over the list and also the exact date when we plan to come on Monday. We give it to his assistant because, well, he will be in the office Monday as always and travel Tuesday to the place. But
so that gives us all of Sunday to plan. That is not going to be a problem. I will go down to Central Station and I will get the train times, and we can then sort out when we would like to go. And I will also put together a list. I will make it a short list of, well, I mean, it won't be that short because it does have to have everything that it'll be a list. And
remember, we will do and can do shopping there as well, but the basic stuff we definitely
like you said,
can.
Milk, eggs, not like you would eat anything for breakfast anyway, but hey.
You can use eggs for other nice things, or maybe I can make breakfast for exchange. We can make it like
one day and then one day.
And a late breakfast, early lunch?
Yeah, we need to get him to get us coffee though.
Yes.
Yeah, and milk. Yeah.
If they don't have the right, maybe we should take coffee from here.
You are so right. God knows what they have.
I think coffee we will just use from here because we know what we can get here. They won't have the variety that we have here.
Well, I mean, I still have an unopened package. We'll just take that with us, and
See, and we have a whole week to prepare and see if we want to have one or two things that we know we will not get there that we want to take with us.
And she's very excited, so she's put down her book now and she's taking out a notepad and she's making notes, and she says, yeah, so that's but it is actually quite late now because it's now 1:30 or something, and she's like, you know what, I will go to bed. And
I would say let's go to bed
tomorrow.
And then tomorrow we can make plans, or basically the whole week. And the idea is for the week to just relax, maybe have Sinead and her sister over for one dinner.
That's a good idea because we should
before we leave
rather sooner than later because, yes, absolutely. How about Wednesday?
Whenever it fits for you and Sinead.
It should be fine. I will ring Sinead and I will ask her to ask her sister, because I mean nuns are not really busy on Wednesday.
I'm not sure. We can just tomorrow just give her a call and see when and how, but I think it would be nice as thank you to just sit together and just finish this and then seaside.
And with that you go to bed, and with that we end this adventure, and the next adventure will indeed take place in Simmons Strand, which by the way is not a real place, it's one that I just made up. So I hope that you enjoyed this.
I loved this, thank you so much. I hope the viewers enjoyed it as well.
So it is the story itself can end in one of two ways. One is to actually sacrifice a human being.
God.
To exorcise the whatever it is, or to bring in an elder sign and then exorcise the place. I just thought that sacrificing someone is really not an option because, I mean, if you decided to do this, then, you could have, but it would have had dire consequences because you would have lost a couple of sanity points. But it is an option and you won't die. so you can still remain sane after that. Generally speaking, the adventure as written expects people to die because the house will actually try and defend itself, even if you don't roll a 0-1. So it was well played in that area because it is a deadly one.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of burning it down is actually something that you can do.
Okay.
And what would happen is, if anyone survived, and if you got back to the place, you would see somebody actually reconstructing it. And if you just wait long enough for the house to be rebuilt, it'll look exactly like the old place.
Yeah.
So it is really in the ground. If you had decided to dig in the garden or even tear up floorboards, you would have found sacrificed animals, like hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them. You would probably also have found maybe one or the other human bone. The thing that you encountered, I'm not such a fan of the mythos itself, but if you must know, or if somebody is interested, it would have been one of the incarnations of Nyarlathotep.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course he's the man of a million masks, and the crone Adele actually is several hundred years old, and she's from Italy, and she is a real life witch. And she basically struck a bargain with l'uomo nero.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically tried to sell Isabel to him.
That's like the piece of
Yeah.
what we heard, that Isabel definitely was not
Yeah.
in, or she didn't know all the details until basically when it happened.
Indeed. So she worked as a nurse, and she did worm her way into Isabel's trust by saying, you know, I'm gonna move in with you, I'm gonna take care of you, because she was very, very, in a very bad way. It's not clear what kind of a debilitating disease it is. The way it's described, I would say it sounds a lot like multiple sclerosis.
Mm-hmm.
And at that, in those days, well, I mean, this is in the 1980s, but even in the 1980s, it could have been really debilitating, and there wasn't any or much therapy. God knows there isn't that much either now. But so basically, what she did do is she managed to remove the illness, but basically sold Isabel's soul behind her back.
Yeah.
And then one day, Nyarlathotep came to claim that soul, and she didn't want to. And then he
Understandably
cursed her to live this half-life. And the way this works is she actually takes in people by killing them and then feeds off their power.
Mm-hmm.
How this whole thing works or what these people feel isn't described.
I like your version. It's really a nice touch that they did not suffer being there.
Yeah, because I think the issue is also that I believe that Isabel is probably a victim as well as a perpetrator, because she
Kind
was
of.
dying. She wasn't even dying. This is the thing. She was suffering from this debilitating illness, and there was somebody who helped her overcome this. And a lot of people do very strange things if they are ill and they want to get better. And she didn't really know what it was doing or what this meant. She didn't know that Adele was sacrificing animals and that kind of thing. So at least according to the book, she didn't know. And I think
she has been ill for a long time.
For decades, yeah. And so I think also that she needs the power from these people, and she has of course gone crazy. I mean, she's been stuck in there in this half world.
But I get her drive to not be alone, because when she was sick, I'm quite sure she has been a long time very alone.
When you see Nyarlathotep, if you don't pass your sanity roll, you suffer 1d100 sanity loss. So God knows how much sanity she had left, because she doesn't have any stats. So she was probably completely...
So it's total lottery what happens. Oh God.
Yeah, and she basically then, But she realized that she could get power from people because the first person to die died of an accident, of a real accident, and she suddenly felt this power surge. At least this is how I interpret it, because it doesn't say anywhere that she would get the knowledge that by killing people she can enhance her power. And every time you lose sanity in the house becomes more powerful.
Powerful.
And then as it basically manifests ghosts, etc., it loses power, and then it has to regenerate it by scaring people. So that's when she said, you know, it's trying to scare you.
Mm-hmm.
That actually is how the mechanics work. If people start losing sanity, the house gets more and more powerful.
Interesting.
I really like the idea behind it, and I think it's for what it is. I mean, it's only like 30 pages. It is a very interesting idea behind it, and I also like it that the mythos is so low, because it can be any haunted house. It doesn't have to be Lovecraftian. It's a haunted house.
Exactly. It's a nice, creepy ghost story in the end, but a very well done ghost story. It was really, really fun.
You can actually increase your occult by a d20.
D20?
Yeah, I know. This is weird. This is called Cthulhu, and she wants
It did not prepare a D20. Let me see.
Because, you learned loads about it. You know now for almost a fact that there is some kind of you know that there is a world between worlds, and you've been there. I mean, you have been in the mirror, so you have seen spirits. You do know that they exist now, and that's a fact. You have seen an exorcism. You know that they work, although they can be quite dangerous. So your occult knowledge has increased dramatically.
I rolled a 14. That is
There you
surprisingly well. I was just, and now we're talking about I learned a lot, and womp womp, a 1. But no.
And I mean, even Dottie got 8, so that's not too bad. So she's now got 13 in occult.
I now have 19. Nice. And then I can also now see if I can level up a few things, right? Because end of adventure.
Each one you can basically, so for those of you at home in front of the screens who don't know how this works, whenever you pass one of your ability rolls, you get a tick. You can only tick them once, and then between adventures what you do is you roll a d100, and you want to roll over. You really want to fail that roll that time. And then you get an increase of a 1d10, but I have one house rule, and that is if you crit on a 0-1, you get to skip the confirmation roll and you just increase it by 1d10. You haven't critted, I've been taking.
Okay, no I haven't so far.
So she didn't get her spot hidden.
That is annoying. I tried to get listen up. I have a 40 and I rolled a 39. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Why am I rolling so low? Oh no, persuade is still good. Okay.
So and she didn't pass her first aid. Okay, she has 62 to be quite honest. That's quite high. Yeah,
nice. Make it 30.
Anything else? Yeah.
Oh, that is nice and high.
You had a little roll which you failed.
The one time you are happy about high rolls.
Yes.
And let's see. That was horrible. So nope. Spot hidden stays as it is. And that is a 2. That is not a 1. My swim value is not getting better, but I can survive that.
But you do get to take 15 points into whatever it is that you use for your what is the thing when you use a cane as a weapon, when you use a saber or something? There must be a...
That's the fighting brawl, I think.
Okay, so then
double
you
check.
increase this by 15 points to 40.
Okay.
Because I assume that you will be working on this. Because this is your new thing, the cane.
Yeah.
And you will be spending... and also you still have the dex that has been reduced because you still are not back to full dex, and probably never will be, but at the moment you're still at the new value, but you are making up for it because you are training for the brawl skill with the thing, the cane. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we will be going to the seaside next, and it won't be that far away in the future, because we have things to do, places to go, ghosts to fight. God knows if there are ghosts by the seaside, who knows. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this, and we will be back with more English role-playing content on this channel. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Looking forward to it. Bye.